There is a battle taking place every single day, and most people never see it. It is silent. It leaves no footprints. It makes no sound. Yet it determines who rises, who falls, who reaches extraordinary heights, and who remains trapped in the same place year after year. It is not the battle against your competitors. It is not the battle against the economy, your circumstances, or even other people's opinions. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle within yourself. Every victory you experience in the outside world begins with a victory on the inside. Every achievement starts as a decision. Every breakthrough begins with a thought. Before you can conquer the world around you, you must first conquer the world within you. Many people believe success is about talent. They believe some people are born with extraordinary gifts while others are simply ordinary. But if you study the lives of highly successful men and women, you will discover something remarkable. Their greatest strength was not superior intelligence. It was not perfect timing. It was not unlimited resources. Their greatest strength was their ability to master themselves. They learned to control their fears instead of allowing fear to control them. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. If you do not deliberately direct your thoughts will begin directing your life. Negative thinking will quietly replace possibility. Doubt will replace confidence. Excuses will replace action. Before long, you will begin living far below your true potential. That is why self-mastery is the foundation of every great achievement. The person who learns to manage emotions, discipline habits, and focus attention becomes unstoppable. The person who waits for motivation before taking action remains stuck. Think about this carefully. Every day you wake up with two voices inside your mind. One voice whispers that you should stay comfortable, avoid risk, postpone your dreams, and settle for less because it feels safe. The other voice tells you that you were created for something greater, that growth requires discomfort, and that your future depends on the choices you make today. The question is not whether those voices exist. They exist in every human being. The question is which voice you choose to strengthen. Every decision you make feeds one of those voices. Every excuse makes the weaker version of yourself stronger. Every disciplined action makes the stronger version of yourself stronger. You become whatever you repeatedly practice. Imagine two people standing at the starting line of life. They have similar education, similar opportunities, and similar abilities. 10 years later, one is living a life of purpose, financial freedom, confidence, and influence. The other is frustrated, discouraged, and wondering why life has been unfair. What created the difference? It was not one dramatic event. It was thousands of small victories over the battle within. One person chose discipline over distraction, learning over entertainment, courage over comfort, persistence over quitting, positive thinking over negative thinking. Day after day, those small choices created extraordinary results. Your future is not built in one moment. It is built one decision at a time. One of the greatest enemies you will ever face is fear. Fear is incredibly persuasive because it sounds reasonable. Fear tells you to wait until you know more. Wait until conditions improve. Wait until you have more money. Wait until you feel confident. Wait until someone believes in you. But if you wait for perfect conditions, you may wait forever. Confidence is not something you possess before action. Confidence is something you earn because of action. Every courageous step you take weakens fear and strengthens belief. Think back to a time when you accomplished something difficult. Perhaps it was earning a degree, starting a business, overcoming a personal challenge, or learning a new skill. Before you began, you probably felt uncertain. You probably questioned yourself. But after taking consistent action, something changed. Your confidence grew because your experience proved that you were capable. Action is the cure for fear. The battle within also involves your beliefs. Many people unknowingly carry invisible limits throughout their lives. They say things like, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, I'm too young. People like me never succeed. Success happens to other people. Those beliefs become invisible walls. Here is an important truth. Your beliefs are not necessarily facts. They are often conclusions you accepted years ago without questioning them. Perhaps someone criticized you when you were young. Perhaps you failed at something important. Perhaps you compared yourself with others and concluded you were not good enough. Those experiences may have shaped your thinking, but they do not have to shape your future. You have the power to replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Instead of saying, I can't, begin asking, how can I? Instead of saying, this is impossible, ask, what would make it possible? Instead of focusing on obstacles, focus on solutions. Your questions determine the quality of your thinking. Better questions create better answers. Another powerful battlefield is your daily habits. Success is rarely the result of one giant decision. It is almost always the result of repeated daily actions. Every morning, you either strengthen discipline or strengthen procrastination. Every hour, you either invest your time or spend it carelessly. Every choice either moves you closer to your dreams or further away from them. Imagine trying to fill a large bucket with a tiny cup of water. One cup seems insignificant, but if you continue pouring consistently, eventually the bucket becomes full. Success works exactly the same way. Small actions performed consistently create extraordinary outcomes over time. Many people underestimate consistency because they focus only on immediate results. They go to the gym once and expect dramatic change. They read one book and expect instant wisdom. They save money for 1 month and expect financial independence. Life rewards consistency, not occasional enthusiasm. Winning the battle within means becoming committed long after the excitement has disappeared. There will be mornings when you do not feel motivated. There will be days when progress seems invisible. There will be moments when quitting appears easier than continuing. Those are the moments that define your future. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Champions continue working even when inspiration is nowhere to be found. Your emotions are temporary. Your decisions are lasting. Another challenge many people face is comparison. We live in a world where it is easy to compare our beginning with someone else's middle or ending. We see people celebrating achievements without witnessing the years of sacrifice behind them. Comparison steals joy because it shifts your attention away from your own progress. Instead of asking why someone else is ahead, ask yourself whether you are better than you were yesterday. Real success is not becoming better than another person. Real success is becoming better than the person you used to be. That is a competition you can win every single day. Winning the battle within also requires responsibility. This is one of the most empowering words in the language. Responsibility means accepting ownership of your choices, your attitude, your actions, and your future. It does not mean blaming yourself for everything that has happened. Life is not always fair. People experience setbacks, disappointments, losses, and unexpected challenges. But while you cannot always control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. That response determines your direction. Successful people ask, what can I do now? Unsuccessful people ask, whose fault is this? One question creates progress. The other creates excuses. Excuses are dangerous because they are comfortable. They allow you to avoid responsibility while convincing yourself that change is impossible. Every excuse may protect your pride today, but it steals your future tomorrow. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you begin making progress. You also need a clear vision. A person without a meaningful goal drifts wherever circumstances take them. Imagine boarding an airplane where the pilot announces, "We have no destination. We will simply fly wherever the wind takes us." No passenger would remain on that flight, yet millions of people live exactly that way. They wake up without purpose, they work without direction, they spend without planning, they dream without acting. Your mind needs a target. When your purpose is clear, your decisions become easier. You become willing to sacrifice short-term comfort because you are committed to long-term achievement. Purpose gives discipline meaning. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment. With purpose, discipline becomes an investment. Another important battlefield exists in the words you speak to yourself. Every day you are engaged in an internal conversation, paid attention to it. If you constantly criticize yourself, your confidence will slowly disappear. If you constantly encourage yourself, your confidence will steadily grow. Speak to yourself the way a wise mentor would speak to someone with enormous potential. Remind yourself that mistakes are lessons. Remind yourself that temporary failure is not permanent defeat. Remind yourself that persistence eventually produces results. The quality of your self-talk influences the quality of your performance. You must also learn patience. We live in a culture that celebrates instant gratification. People want instant wealth, instant recognition, instant success, and instant transformation. But lasting success follows the law of preparation. The farmer plants seeds long before harvest. The architect creates plans before construction. The musician practices countless hours before performing. The champion prepares long before standing on the podium. Trust the process. Keep improving, keep learning, keep working. The results will come. There will also be moments when life tests your commitment. Unexpected setbacks will appear. Plans will fail. People may disappoint you. Opportunities may disappear. You may question whether your efforts are worthwhile. These moments are not signs that you should quit. They are opportunities to discover the strength you did not know you possessed. Pressure does not create character. Pressure reveals character. If you remain committed during difficult seasons, you develop resilience that cannot be taught in any classroom. Resilience is the ability to stand up one more time than you fall down. Every successful person has experienced failure. The difference is that successful people refused to let failure become their identity. Failure is an event. It is not a person. When you separate your identity from your temporary setbacks, you become free to keep moving forward. Never confuse a bad day with a bad life. Never confuse one mistake with your entire future. Every sunrise brings another opportunity to improve, to learn, to begin again with greater wisdom than before. The battle within is never completely over. Even after you achieve one goal, another challenge will appear. New fears will emerge. Greater responsibilities will demand higher levels of discipline. But that is the beauty of personal growth. Every victory prepares you for a greater opportunity. The strongest people are not those who never struggle internally. They are the people who refuse to surrender to those struggles. Every morning, remind yourself that your greatest competition is not another person. It is the version of yourself that wants comfort instead of courage, excuses instead of effort, doubt instead of faith, and procrastination instead of progress. Each day gives you another opportunity to choose differently. Each hour gives you another opportunity to think differently. Each decision gives you another opportunity to become the person you were always capable of becoming. The battle within may be invisible to the world, but its results become visible in every area of your life. When you win inside, you walk differently, you think differently, you speak differently, you make decisions differently. You refuse to let temporary emotions control permanent choices. You become someone who acts with intention instead of impulse, with discipline instead of excuses, with hope instead of fear. And once you discover that the greatest victory is not over circumstances but over yourself, you unlock a level of confidence, resilience, purpose, and determination that no obstacle, setback, or challenge can ever permanently take away. There is another truth that separates extraordinary people from ordinary performers. Extraordinary people understand that every day is a fresh opportunity to strengthen their character. Character is not built during moments of comfort. Character is built when no one is watching, when there is no applause, no recognition, and no immediate reward. It is built when you choose honesty over convenience, discipline over laziness, and excellence over mediocrity. The world may celebrate your achievements, but your character is what makes those achievements sustainable. When you win the battle within, you become the kind of person who succeeds without sacrificing integrity, who grows without losing humility, and who leads without seeking constant approval. One of the greatest traps in life is believing that your current situation defines your future. Too many people identify themselves by their present circumstances. They say, I'm broke, I'm unsuccessful, I'm struggling, as though those conditions are permanent identities. They are not. They are temporary chapters. A chapter is not the whole story. Your current condition is simply the starting point from which your next decision can change everything. History is filled with people who started with disadvantages that seemed impossible to overcome. They lacked money, education, connections, or opportunity, yet they possessed one quality that outweighed every obstacle. They refused to surrender mentally. They decided that their future would not be dictated by their past. That decision became the turning point. Never underestimate the power of one committed decision. A single decision to improve your health can transform your body over time. A single decision to read every day can transform your knowledge. A single decision to save and invest consistently can transform your financial future. A single decision to forgive can transform your emotional life. Every major change begins with one choice followed by consistent action. There is an invisible law operating in every area of life. Whatever you feed becomes stronger. Whatever you neglect becomes weaker. Feed your fears, and they will dominate your thinking. Feed your confidence, and it will influence your actions. Feed your excuses, and they will multiply. Feed your discipline, and it will become your greatest strength. Ask yourself every day, what am I feeding? Are you feeding your dreams or your doubts? Are you feeding your courage or your comfort? Are you feeding your growth or your distractions? Your answers will reveal the direction of your life. Many people spend more time protecting their limitations than expanding their possibilities. They become experts at explaining why something cannot be done. They have an excuse for every opportunity. They have a reason for every delay. They become so accustomed to their comfort zone that they mistake it for security. But comfort has a hidden cost. Every year you remain in the same place because of fear. You pay a price that cannot be recovered. You lose opportunities, experiences, relationships, skills, and confidence. Time is the one resource that can never be replaced. Every day you postpone your dreams is a day you will never get back. Imagine looking back 20 years from now. Which regret would be heavier? The temporary discomfort of trying and failing, or the lifelong disappointment of never trying at all? Most people regret the chances they never took more than the mistakes they made. That is because mistakes teach lessons. Regret simply reminds you of unused potential. Winning the battle within means refusing to let regret become your companion. It means deciding today that you will no longer wait for permission to pursue the life you desire. Another important lesson is learning to manage your attention. We live in an age where distractions compete for every minute of our lives. Notifications, entertainment, endless scrolling, and constant interruptions quietly steal the hours that could have been invested in personal growth. Your attention is one of your most valuable assets. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. Where your energy goes, your results appear. Highly successful people guard their attention carefully because they understand that focus creates momentum. They know that every distraction carries an opportunity cost. Every unnecessary interruption delays meaningful progress. If you truly want to win the battle within, become intentional about what enters your mind. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to conversations that challenge you to grow. Spend time with people who inspire you to become better. Reduce the influence of negativity, gossip, and unnecessary criticism. Your environment influences your expectations more than you realize. If you constantly surround yourself with people who complain, eventually complaining begins to feel normal. If you surround yourself with people who pursue excellence, excellence becomes your new standard. Choose your influences wisely because they shape your thinking long before they shape your results. The battle within also requires emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Anyone can lose their temper. Anyone can become discouraged. Anyone can complain when life becomes difficult. But true strength is demonstrated by self-control. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be critics who doubt you. There will always be unexpected disappointments. You cannot control those realities. What you can control is your response. The person who masters their emotions gains an advantage that cannot be measured by talent alone. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with anger, resentment, jealousy, and bitterness. Every step becomes more exhausting. Those emotional burdens consume energy that could have been used to build a better future. Forgiveness is not about pretending that pain never happened. Forgiveness is about refusing to allow yesterday's pain to control tomorrow's possibilities. When you release bitterness, you free your mind for greater pursuits. When you let go of resentment, you make room for purpose. Winning the battle within often means releasing what no longer serves your future. Another challenge you will face is self-doubt after success. Many people believe that confidence permanently replaces uncertainty after reaching a major goal. That is rarely true. Every new level introduces unfamiliar challenges. Every greater responsibility demands greater growth. Do not be surprised if doubt reappears. Instead, remember that courage is not the absence of doubt. Courage is choosing action despite doubt. The strongest leaders continue moving forward even when every answer is not yet clear. Progress belongs to those who remain committed during uncertainty. Growth is impossible without uncertainty because every new achievement requires entering unfamiliar territory. Think about learning to walk as a child. You fell repeatedly before you walked confidently. Imagine if you had concluded after your first fall that walking simply wasn't for you. The same principle applies throughout life. Every new skill begins with awkwardness. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master once struggled with the basics. The willingness to remain a beginner is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. Pride resists learning. Humility accelerates learning. Approach every day with the mindset that there is always something new to discover, another lesson to absorb, another habit to improve, another level to reach. One powerful question can transform your entire perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this experience preparing me for? That single question changes your focus from victimhood to growth. Challenges become classrooms. Failures become feedback. Obstacles become opportunities to develop qualities that comfort could never produce. The strongest steel passes through the hottest fire. Likewise, as your greatest strengths are often developed through your greatest difficulties. This does not mean you should seek hardship. It means you should never waste hardship. Every disappointment contains a lesson. Every setback contains insight. Every delay contains preparation. The person who searches for those lessons emerges stronger than before. Winning the battle within also means becoming comfortable with delayed gratification. Our natural tendency is to seek immediate pleasure while avoiding immediate discomfort. But nearly every worthwhile achievement requires the opposite. You study today for knowledge you will use tomorrow. You exercise today for health you will enjoy later. You save today for financial freedom in the future. You practice today for excellence that others will witness years from now. Those who master delayed gratification consistently outperform those who chase instant rewards. Remember this whenever you are tempted to abandon your commitments. The pain of discipline is temporary. The rewards of discipline often last a lifetime. Likewise, the pleasure of avoiding responsibility is temporary. The consequences of avoidance can last for years. Every decision carries a price. Choose the price that creates the future you truly want. As you continue this journey, learn to celebrate progress without becoming satisfied by it. Appreciate how far you have come. Be grateful for every lesson learned, acknowledge every improvement, then ask yourself, what is my next step? Growth is a lifelong commitment. There is always another skill to master, another relationship to strengthen, another goal to pursue, another person to encourage. The battle within is never about becoming perfect. It is about becoming intentional. Perfection creates pressure. Progress creates momentum. Never allow perfectionism to become another excuse for inaction. Many dreams remain unrealized because people insist on waiting until everything is flawless before they begin. Start where you are. Use what you have. Improve as you go. Excellence is rarely present at the beginning. It is developed through repetition, correction, and persistence. Another essential quality is gratitude. Gratitude is not ignoring your ambitions. Gratitude is appreciating today's blessings while continuing to pursue tomorrow's opportunities. A grateful person approaches challenges differently. Instead of focusing solely on what is missing, they recognize what is already available. That mindset creates resilience because appreciation and discouragement cannot easily occupy the same space. Begin each day by identifying reasons to be thankful. Be thankful for your ability to learn. Be thankful for another opportunity to improve. Be thankful for the people who encourage your growth. Be thankful for every chance to begin again. Gratitude strengthens hope. Hope strengthens action. Action creates results. Never forget that sequence. There will also be seasons when your progress appears invisible. You will work diligently without immediate recognition. You will improve quietly while others seem to advance more quickly. Do not become discouraged. Nature itself teaches patience. A seed spends significant time growing beneath the surface before anyone sees evidence of life. That unseen period is not wasted. It is essential. Your preparation may also be invisible for a season. Keep learning. Keep practicing. Keep refining your skills. One day the visible results will simply reveal the invisible work you invested over time. The world often notices success only after years of unnoticed discipline. People admire the performance but overlook the preparation. They applaud the victory but rarely witness the sacrifices. Be willing to embrace the preparation even when no one else notices. Your future self will thank you. Winning the battle within also requires protecting your standards. Standards determine behavior long before circumstances test it. If your standard is excellence, average performance becomes unacceptable. If your standard is honesty, deception becomes impossible. If your standard is discipline, excuses lose their influence. Write your standards and your life begins to rise with them. Ask yourself regularly, what kind of person am I becoming? Not just, what am I achieving? Achievements matter, character matters more. Eventually, opportunities, relationships, and responsibilities will all be entrusted to the person you become. That is why personal development is the highest return investment you can ever make. Money can be lost and earned again. Businesses can succeed and fail. Careers can change. But the qualities you develop within yourself travel with you wherever you go. Your discipline, your integrity, your resilience, your confidence, your wisdom. These become permanent assets that continue producing value throughout your lifetime. As you move forward, remember that greatness is not reserved for a select few. Greatness is the result of ordinary people making extraordinary commitments over long periods of time. It belongs to those who consistently choose growth over comfort, purpose over popularity, responsibility over excuses, Durstbindet over surrender, faith over fear. Every sunrise presents the same question: will you strengthen the person you wish to become, or will you strengthen the habits you are trying to leave behind? The answer is found not in your intentions, but in your actions, not in your wishes, but in your daily routines. Not in what you promise yourself occasionally, but in what you consistently practice. Every day you have the opportunity to cast another vote for the future you desire. Every disciplined action becomes evidence that you are becoming stronger. Every courageous decision weakens the voice of fear. Every positive habit reinforces your belief that change is possible. Eventually, there comes a moment when the battle that once seemed impossible becomes easier because your new habits begin working in your favor instead of against you. The thoughts that once discouraged you lose their influence. The fears that once controlled your choices become smaller. The discipline that once required enormous effort becomes part of your identity. You no longer fight merely to prove something to others. You fight because excellence has become your standard, growth has become your lifestyle, and purpose has become the force that guides every decision you make, preparing you for even greater victories that are still waiting just beyond the limits of your current imagination.